Hello, hi. My name is Naghea H Daido. I'm an advocate of the High Court of Kenya and gospel music, UNISA. Yes, and my latest title is an author. Yes, this is my first publication. It's called Handling Depression in the Workplace. It's forwarded by Honorable Professor Kariuki Muigua. He's a distinguished and trailblazer in the area of environmental law and alternative dispute resolution. So I was quite honored to have him do the foreword of my story of this book. He was also my lecturer during my LLM, that's my Master's in Law in Environmental and Natural Resources. So he was a lecturer, so at least he has a feel of the journey, so he was able to put down some thoughts. Yes, and so to the book, it features a number of people who are affected. It is a very timely book. There's a lot of discussion that is picking up. We have the policy, we have a task force which was put in place to check the status of mental health in Kenya. And so some of the reports and such are reflected in some of the initiatives that a number of institutions are taking up to address this condition. It is estimated that out of every 4 people, 1 person is affected with a mental health condition. So that's quite a high statistics. If you put it with the numbers, and Kenya is ranked around the 5th in Africa with the high rate affected people and also suicide cases. So there's a need to have this conversation going so that we minimize the fatalities. The people will lose the skill set, the strength, the precious lives and gifts that people would have given, but then we lose them because someone feels there is no hope, there's no opportunity to recover, or they don't see where they can find help. Yeah, so this book is that torch in the dark, or the lighthouse, if I can call it, because some people are affected but they don't know that they are. So this book will feature some of the common myths that are out there around depression, because depression is among the most common conditions, because there's a spectrum, because people, when they hear mental health, they just imagine you have gone bananas. Yeah, but there's a spectrum. Before you get there, it starts slowly, so you can find help from the beginning stage, middle, or whichever stage you are in, and you can regain back your balance. Yes, so there are myths around that. Then there are the symptoms, how to identify, then the coping skills, and then there's now the work setup as an employer, employee, and colleague. The person who is affected, how do you handle such perspectives? Because some organizations, there's the cost implication, the image, and all that. So how do you balance all that? Balancing work, deadlines, and still have this person being taken care of. So how do you balance those aspects? And then there's a section on the rights of persons with mental health, because at least in Kenya we have the new act that passed, introduced rights for persons with mental health conditions. And then there's conflict management, and I liked it that Professor Kariuki Muigua is in that space of alternative dispute resolution. So mechanisms like mediation and arbitration. I don't think arbitration is too hard. Well, it's too combative of some sort. Well, it's not like mediation is more friendly for handling conflicts, because conflict can really trigger the weight to someone who is facing a mental health condition. So how do you handle conflicts, either employee, if it's a parent, teacher, students, that setup? You need to relieve some duties for someone, and it is they are feeling offended and they are raising concerns. How do you handle those conflicts? Yes, that's the legal side. And then there are tools and resources. A number of people don't know where to find help. So there are institutions that hospitals, counseling centers, individuals, hospitals that are offering these services. There are also online platforms that you can call anonymously, and hotlines that you can call so that you can be assisted. Yes, and then in each of the areas I put, and then also a journey on recovery. For some it is long, for others you can recover within a shorter time. So how do you walk that journey? And also a note to loved ones who are caregivers. Caregivers also can be weighed down when their loved one is facing a mental health condition. So how do you work with them as you also take care of yourself? And also the person who is going through it, how do you help yourself? Because to gain the will and the inner strength to push on until you regain back your life. Yes, so it features that, and also now parts of my story and a few other case studies to be able to contextualize the pointers so that you can see it in a real life setup, how to journey and how to recover. And I wish you well as you go through the journey, whether directly or indirectly, so that you can we can make our workspaces, because we spend a lot of our life in the workplace and in our businesses. So we make them as friendly as possible, and even including some green practices, some environmental friendly features, some plants in your workspaces, some lighting. It enhances the mood and the calming effect to the workers. So all those are in this book. It is published by Ssali Publishing House in collaboration with UNISA. Thank you, UNISA. That is the University of South Africa. So I really appreciate them for the journey. So it is going for 1,500. I'll put the number, the number you can order, and we get this conversation going. You can invite me to your institutions to speak about the topic, or you can just get in touch. We get this going to make our workspaces a better place, more supportive, and more productive, so that it's a win-win situation for all, and together with our loved ones. Yes, thank you so much. Waiting to receive your order, and have a wonderful read. You can give me feedback of how you find the book. Thank you. Bye.